for bringing this up. It's one of my biggest priorities. So the tribal, and I just met with almost all of the chiefs and the leaders of the tribal communities in America. The crimes they have committed on what we call Indian country is just as horrific, if not worse, than the rest of America. Look up the story about Emily Pike, whose family is still waiting for her arms. This child was murdered on a reservation, and they found a piece of her body and not the murderer and not the rest of her body. They are plagued by drugs, and they have never been a priority in terms of law enforcement working together. And now remember, you're talking about two different sets of legal structures, right? They have their own and we have our own. But what I've asked of them, and what they've asked of me, is pay more attention, give us more resources. And what I've asked of them is said, hey, all the leaders said, let my guys on. Let my guys come to you, and let's work together on solving some of these horrific crimes. The trafficking, the murders, and the violent crime on Indian reservations is skyrocketing. And I'm not going to treat people who live in the United States of America differently because they have a different way of life. We're going to help them. And we put out Operation Not Forgotten, where we deployed this month and this summer, I can't remember how many agents and intel analysts, specifically to remote tribal locations to solve crimes that have not been solved for years, specifically the most violent. And we're going to double down on that. And as Bongino likes to say, this summer we are unleashing a massive operation across the country. As Dan calls it, it's a bad day to be a bad guy this summer, because the FBI is putting out all these extra agents and personnel into the field, and we're going to come find you. If you think you can nest in our communities and find safe haven, you're going to prison.